All right, guys, we're going to start central angles and arc measure. So a central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle, so right here at B, and its two sides are radii or radius. So they're the radius of this circle. The sum of all the central angles in a circle is 360 degrees, so if you go all the way around. And then an example of a central angle would be angle ABC. ABC. The degree of the arc formed by the endpoints of the central angle. So the arc, this is the arc. So that, a central angle, is going to be equal to the degree of the central angle. So the measure of the angle is 84, or I'm sorry, the measure of the arc is 84, and the measure of ADC, so ADC would be here, ADC, you just subtract that from 360, so it'd be 276. All right, so we're going to go through and we're going to do these problems. So we're going to start with the measure of JK, and if you look, it's just 21. And then we want the measure of, let me erase this. So now we're going to do the measure of JNM. So we're doing that angle, and if you think about it, all the way is 180, so subtract 21, you get 159 degrees. And then the next one we're going to do is, let's see, KL. So KL. So if this is 21, this is 21. So again, it's going to be 159. Think about those two angles. They're vertical angles. And then JKM. So JKM all the way around. That's half of a circle plus 21, which gives you 201. And then MKL. So now let's look at MKL. So MKL all the way around. So that's going to be 360 minus 21, which gives you 339. All right, you guys go ahead and pause this and you give number 2 a go. Come back on when you're ready. Okay, here's the answer to number 2. Hopefully you did well. Let's move on to number 3. So let me move this up here. Hold on. Okay, so number 3, we're going to do CD first. And if you see that little square, that means it's 90. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to do, hold on. Okay, we're going to do FD. FD. So if this is 90, this is 90. 90 and 34 is 124. Now let's do, let me erase these so we can see. Let's do DCF, DCF. So now what we need to think about there is this right here is your diameter, which means this whole thing is 180. So 180 minus 34. And then we're going to add on the 90. And so what we're going to end up with is 236. Okay, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do GDF. So GDF all the way around. So what we need to know is we need to know how much is GF. So again, we've got that we know how much this one is. It's 90, right? We know how much this one is. It's 90. And so this is 34. Add it all together and you get 304. All right, go for number 4. Go ahead and pause this and try number 4. And here are the answers. Okay, so now let's go through and solve some problems. So it says here that you want to find each value or measure. So we know that this is 15x minus 26, and we know this is 26. If you look, this right here is the diameter of the circle, which means that whole thing is going to be 180. So I can go 15x minus 26 plus 26 is equal to 180. Well, these two are going to cancel out. So now I've got 15x equals 180. Divide by 15, divide by 15, and x equals 12. Your answer is 12. Okay, let's do this next one together. So now what we're trying to do is we're trying to find what 18x is going to be equal to. So let's see, 18x, let's see, I've got this and this, which means this, oops, that's not very good drawing. Let's do a little bit better, hold on. Okay, if you look here and here, so this is 103, so this is 103. So 18x minus 2 plus 15 equals 103. So 18x plus 13 equals 103. Subtract 13 from both sides. And now we've got that 18x is equal to, which equals 90, and then divide by 18, divide by 18, and you should get x equals, whoops, x equals 5. All right, let's go here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And let's solve this one here. So now we know that, let's see, how are we going to do this one? We've got 10x minus 22, and we know that these two angles right here are vertical angles, which means 10x minus 22 is equal to 8x plus 12. So subtract 8x, and you get 2x minus 22 equals 12. Add 22. You've got 2x equals 34. Divide by 2. So x equals 17. So we know x is equal to 17. So if we know that x is equal to 17, all we have to do is go in here and plug it in. So 10 times 17 minus 22 will give us the length of BC, which means this one here is 148. And then if we go here and go 8 times 17, well, we know this is going to be 148, right? And if we want to know the length of AD, we now have it. It's 148. If we want to know the length of CD, think about this. This is my diameter, which means that's 180. So therefore CD is going to be 32. You're just subtracting 148 from CD. And then the final thing we want to find is we want to find the distance of BDC. So notice it goes in order, BDC. So if we know this is 148, this is 32, and this is 32, we know the total is going to be 212. All right, let's move on to the next page. And let's zoom in a bit so we can see. Okay, so for this one, the first thing I need to notice is that this right here is my diameter, which means that 5x plus 23 plus 17x minus 41 equals 180. So what I'm going to do is go through and add all this up. So 5x and 17x is 22x minus, and then 23 minus 41 is, or 41 minus is negative 18. So 41 minus 23 equals 180. and then add 18, add 18. So now I've got 22x equals 198. Divide by 22. And when you divide by 22, you get x equals 9. So this is 9. Okay, we want MJK, so we want this right here. So let's figure out first 5 times 9 plus 23, which means this here is 68. These are vertical angles, so this is 68. Okay, so now what I need to find is I need to find JK. So we know JK is 68 because we solved it. And the next thing I want to know is what is MJ? So MJ, I just have to subtract 68 from 180 and get 112. And then the last thing I want is LMK. So all of this, so if I know this is 180, here, add 68 to that, and I get 248. All right, let's let you guys give it a go. So go ahead and pause, and you try this next one. Okay, here's the answers. What you should see is that all the way around is 360, and you've got 90 degrees here. So that's how you're going to work that one. All right, let's go down to this next section. So let me move this up. And we want to find the arc length formula. So the arc length formula is going to be, it's going to be x times your circumference. X is the degree measure, which is what we found up above, of the arc. Length and measure are totally different. All over 360. Now C is your circumference. Circumference can be 2 pi r or pi diameter. Okay, so we're going to go through and do this next one. It says EB is 15, so that means my radius is 15. I want to find CD, so I just have to go 180 minus 68 so I can find my arc measure. And then what I get is 112, so 100, oops, sorry, my pen stopped. 112 times my circumference, which is going to be 2 pi times 15 all over 360. So when I multiply those, I get 3,360 pi all over 360. Plug that in your calculator, and your approximation is 29.32 centimeters. All right. You go for the next one, give it a go, and then I will come on it. So just pause and I'll put the answer up. Okay, here's the approximation right here. What you needed to do is think about it. This is 180 right here. So then that gave you that this little bit is 12, and these two are vertical angles. All right, let's move on to number 12. So number 12, be careful, because it tells you that VS is 12. So the diameter is 12. That means your radius is 6. But that means we can use pi diameter. And we want to find UT. So if we want to find UT, the first thing I'm going to look at is right here. Always look for your diameter. So here's my diameter. If that's 180, that means I know this is 53. Now, if this one's 90, that means this one's 90, which makes this 37. Okay, so UT. So I'm going to go 37, which is my arc measure, times pi 12 over 360. Okay, so if I multiply 37 times 12, I get 444 pi all over 360. And then the final answer would be 3.87 meters. All right, let's go to the next one. If JH is 21, so this whole thing here is 21, find the length of KJG, so all the way around. So I know that, let's see, I know here is 180, so that means this is 95, so this one's 95 because it's vertical angles. So now I've got my arc measure. So my arc measure is going to be 334 times pi times d all over 360. And so therefore I've got 7,014 pi all over 360. And so the final answer, the approximation, is 61.21 inches. All right, moving on. Okay, so let's see, what information do we have first? We know that FG is going to be 27. So we've got our radius. So we need to find the length of FED. Okay. So FED. Okay, so I think what I will do is say 360 minus these two. So 300, let's see, 80 plus 47 is 127. So these two right here are 127. So I'm going to go 360 minus 127, and I get 233. So it's 233. So 233 times 2 times pi times my radius all over 360. So I get 12,582 pi all over 360. And then my approximation, when I put it in the calculator, is going to be 109.8 yards. Okay, last but not least, let's see, WS is 4.5, so we know this is our radius, 4.5. We want to find the length of TS. So I need to think about how to get that. Okay, the first thing that I see is right here, this is the diameter. So if that's the diameter, I can go 180 minus 128 and get that this is 52. So that means this is 52. So now I can just go 360 minus, and then add all three of these, all four of these up. So 128 plus 52 plus 52 plus 31 equals 263. So I'm going to subtract 263 and get 360 minus 263, and I get 97. So this is 97. So we've got 97 times 2 times pi times my radius, 4.5, all over 360. And when you multiply that all together, you end up with 873 pi over 360. And so your final approximation is 7.62 millimeters. All right, we're done. Good luck.